Okay, this is Jason with musicsoftwaretraining.com. I'm going to show you how to warp a track the hard way. This is the way you would have to warp a track before versions 5 and 6 introduced auto warp. Now auto warp works pretty darn good, it's pretty accurate, but there are certain times where it's just not perfect, and if you don't know the old school way of warping a track, you could run into some problems. So what I've done here is just for this tutorial I went into my preferences and I turned off the auto warp function so that basically it's going to drag this track in without warping it. Also what I've done is I've made an impulse track, which by now you should know is kind of the drum machine, and I made a clip, just a 1-bar clip with kicks on every quarter note. We're going to use that later just to make sure that everything lines up properly. So let's get into our track here. Now the thing is, we don't know the tempo of this song. We don't really know a whole lot about this song at all. So we're just going to try to figure that out as we go. The first thing that you're going to want to do is turn on your little warp deal there. And then the second thing you're going to want to do is figure out where your first beat is. So I'm going to go ahead and get in kind of close, see if I can see the first kicks. It looks like the kicks are starting right around here, so I'm going to go ahead and play the song. And sounds like that is where it probably starts. So I'm going to go here, going to get in close, and I think this is my first kick right here. I just hover until I see the magnifying glass right in here, left click on the mouse and drag down, and that's gonna get me closer into the track. And if I push the mouse upward, it's gonna close the track in. So I want to take this first marker over here, kind of drag it over and pull it down. As you notice, this arrow here is not on with the warp marker. You want to make sure that it is on. So I'm going to drag it over, put it on, and then I'm going to move this warp marker to what I think is the very first beat, which should be right here. And get in a little closer, and we should be pretty good right there. So now we want to make sure that it's actually starting on the first beat. So I'm going to just hit play here. Okay, that sounds pretty good. So next thing we want to do is we want to make a loop marker. That's this little dealie right here. We want the beginning of the loop to obviously be on the very first beat that we made here. So this yellow icon is what we call our warp marker, and then we're going to say how long we want this loop to be. So I'm going to turn the loop on, and I'm going to make the length of this 8 measures. Okay, so we have an 8 measure loop. So basically what we're going to do here, let me darken this real quick, is I want to take a look. First I'm going to take a look at the second and third beat and see if our beats are lined up. In this case, it looks like they're lining up pretty good. Still looks pretty good. So let me go over to here, the end of our loop. And it looks like we're a little bit off, but not by much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the length here to 16 beats. Now, if you notice this is getting way more off, you might want to make the length shorter, maybe 4 bars or even 2 bars. Usually 4 is pretty good though, but we're going to double it to 16 because it looks like we're pretty accurate. And hit enter. Okay, so now I'm going to go to 17 here. I'm going to check the length, and we can see that we're just slightly off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click here on the 17, make another marker, and then I'm going to drag it right in front of the beat. There we go. And that's going to basically correct all the timing from the first marker to the next marker. Now I'm just going to make sure that's darkened, and I'm going to hit the up arrow key on my keyboard. And when I hit that, it's going to move to the next 16 bars, like so. This is going back, this is going forward. So this is what we're going to do. And then we're going to take a look how close we are here, and it looks like we're about the same amount off. So we'll double click on here to make a new warp marker, drag it over, and then we'll scroll out and go to our next 16. Here we are over here. Double click, change the warp marker. Looks like we want it right about here. And then we'll hit the arrow key again. Take a look here, see how close we are. Double click, move it, get on to the next one. I know this can be a little tedious. This is what you used to have to go through. Those of you who have auto warp should be very thankful for that feature. And we'll double click here, move to the front of the beat, and looks like I just moved it slightly. Don't want that to happen. There we go. It's back on. I'm going to hit it twice because we're so close on that I think we can adjust after 32 bars. So I just hit it twice. Going to come in close here. Double click. Go ahead and move it. And then I'll hit it twice more. And we're going to do this all the way to the end. Double click, move it over, and one more. And this should be the last one we need to do. So I'll double click, move it, and we should be good. Now, what we're going to want to do, we're going to take off the loop because we don't want it just playing the section that's looped. So go ahead and take that off. And we've got our track that's warped. And then what we're going to want to do, I'm not going to actually do this, but you're going to want to go ahead and do this, is once you have your track warped, you want to hit save. Now you might not want to do it right away because we want to do one more test. We want to see if it matches up with our little kick drum here that we've made. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to turn our kick drum up just so that we can hear it. I'm going to play it by itself here. Let me stop all the clips. Oop, turn on the track. Alright. That's good. And now we're going to want to go ahead and play both of these tracks together. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in to the same scene. When I hit play here, they're both going to start at the same time. And it sounds like they're lining up pretty darn good. So I'm going to let that play for a little bit. And if you want, you could turn your loop marker back on and you could play different sections of the song. Like I'm testing the end right here. I can go back and it'll just adjust the timing as it goes. That way you can make sure that your beats are lining up throughout the song. And all I'm doing is hitting the down arrow. And it sounds like we're pretty well lined up, so we've got a nice warp track. So let's go ahead and turn the loop marker off again. And then you're just going to hit the save button, and that's going to save all your warp settings. So anytime you drag this song into any Ableton set, it's going to remember these marks. It's good if you're using my technique and using an impulse kick drum, it's good to use the same kick drum for every song you warp. That way everything that works with this kick drum is going to work with each other. So you want to go ahead and do that. And that is how you warp a song the old way, the hard way. I hope you got a lot out of this. Enjoy.